He thought he could get away with it. A quick grab, a harmless crime. But what he didn't know was that every move was being watched by someone or something far smarter than he expected. Max stood poised, his sharp eyes locked onto the thief as his handler assessed the tense situation. The thief, visibly panicked, threw open his car door and tried to make a run for it. But Max was ready. With a single, sharp command from his handler, "Max, heel," the German Shepherd sprang into action, moving with the precision and speed that only years of training could produce. The thief stumbled as Max closed the distance between them, his powerful strides closing the gap in seconds. Before the man could get far, Max positioned himself strategically in the thief's path, blocking his escape route. His handler, maintaining a calm but authoritative tone, shouted, "Stop right there, hands in the air." But the thief wasn't giving up so easily. Desperation fueled his movements as he tried to sidestep the dog, but Max was too quick. The German Shepherd let out a low, menacing growl, his teeth bared just enough to send a clear message. One wrong move, and you'll regret it. Realizing he was outmatched, the man froze in his tracks, raising his hands slowly. Okay. Don't let the dog bite me," he stammered, his voice trembling. The puppy's rescue. While one officer moved in to detain the thief, Max's handler approached the car, where the stolen puppy sat trembling on the passenger seat. The tiny golden retriever's big brown eyes were filled with fear, but when the handler gently opened the car door, the puppy let out a soft whimper. "It's okay, buddy. You're safe now," the officer said, reaching out carefully. The puppy hesitated for a moment before allowing itself to be scooped up into the officer's arms. The handler cradled the small dog, who immediately began to relax, its tail giving a cautious wag. Meanwhile, Max remained focused on the thief, standing guard as the officers secured the man in handcuffs. Even as the situation calmed, Max didn't let his guard down. His instincts told him the job wasn't done until everyone was safe. The emotional reunion. Back in the park, the puppy's owner, a young woman named Emily, was frantic. She had been searching everywhere, calling out her puppy's name, "Buddy, Buddy, where are you?" Her worst fear was that he had wandered into the busy streets surrounding the park. As she circled back to the parking lot, she spotted the police vehicles and a small crowd gathering. Her heart leapt in her throat when she saw the officer holding Buddy in his arms. "Oh my gosh, Buddy," she cried, running toward them. The officer handed the puppy over, and Buddy immediately started wriggling with excitement, licking Emily's face as she hugged him tightly. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she looked up at the officers. Thank you so much. I thought I'd lost him forever." One of the officers smiled and gestured toward Max, who was now sitting calmly beside his handler. "You should really thank Max here. He's the real hero today." Emily knelt down to Max's level, her voice trembling with emotion. "Thank you, Max. You're amazing." She gently patted the dog's head, and for the first time since the ordeal began, Max's serious demeanor softened. His tail wagged slightly, as if to say, "All in a day's work." The thief's fake. As Emily and Buddy shared their heartfelt reunion, the thief sat in the back of a police cruiser, his head hung low. When questioned, he confessed that he had stolen the puppy with the intention of selling it for quick cash. "I didn't think anyone would notice," he muttered. "It was just a dog." The officers weren't sympathetic. "That just a dog means the world to someone," one officer replied firmly. The man was charged with theft and animal cruelty, and he would soon face the legal consequences of his actions. Max becomes a local hero. News of Max's heroic actions spread quickly. By the next day, the story was all over local news outlets and social media. Headlines like "K9 Hero Saves Stolen Puppy" and "German Shepherd Turns the Tables on Pet Thief" captured the public's attention. People couldn't get enough of Max. He became an overnight sensation, with fans sending him treats, toys, and heartfelt letters of appreciation. The police department even held a small ceremony to honor Max, presenting him with a medal for his bravery and dedication. During the ceremony, Max's handler spoke about the special bond they shared. "Max isn't just my partner. He's my best friend. His instincts and training are incredible, but it's his heart that truly sets him apart. He loves what he does, and today he proved just how valuable he is, not just to me, but to our entire community. The impact of K-9 units. The story also shed light on the critical role K-9 units play in law enforcement. Many people were unaware of the rigorous training these dogs undergo and the wide range of skills they possess. From tracking missing persons to detecting drugs and explosives, K-9 dogs are an indispensable part of police work. Max's story inspired a surge of interest in supporting K-9 programs. Donations poured in to help fund training and equipment for police dogs, and several local schools invited officers and their K-9 partners to give educational presentations about their work. A new beginning for Buddy and Emily. As for Emily and Buddy, the ordeal brought them even closer. Emily decided to enroll Buddy in puppy training classes, not just to prevent him from wandering off again, but also to strengthen their bond. She also made a promise to herself. No more distractions while walking Buddy. Her phone would stay in her pocket, and her focus would remain on her furry friend. Every time Emily saw a German Shepherd, she couldn't help but think of Max. She even reached out to the police department to ask if she could visit him. "I just want to thank him again," she explained. The department happily arranged a meeting, and when Emily arrived with Buddy, Max greeted them with his trademark focus and a wagging tail. Life goes on. For Max, life returned to normal, or as normal as it could be for a canine hero. He continued his training, always ready for the next challenge. But every now and then, his handler would catch him lounging in his kennel, chewing on one of the many toys sent by his newfound fans. Though Max didn't understand the full extent of his fame, he did seem to enjoy the extra attention. And for the officers who worked alongside him, Max's actions that day were a reminder of why they do what they do. In a world that sometimes feels chaotic, it's moments like these that show the power of teamwork, trust, and a little bit of canine intuition. Here's an extended version of the story, adding 1,000 more words to develop the narrative. Max stood guard as the thief, realizing he had no way out, reluctantly exited the car, his hands raised in surrender. The officers swiftly moved in, cuffing the man as Max maintained his intense focus, his ears perked and his stance firm. The officers knew that Max's unwavering presence was a key factor in keeping the situation under control. A shaken but safe puppy. Once the thief was secured, one of the officers opened the car door and carefully retrieved the golden retriever puppy. The small dog whimpered and trembled in the officer's arms, its big eyes darting nervously around the scene. "It's okay, little one," the officer said gently, stroking the puppy to calm it down. Max's handler crouched next to him, giving the command to relax. Max shifted from his alert stance to a calm sit, his tail wagging slightly as he looked up at his handler. The tension in the air began to dissipate as the officers reassured each other that the situation was now under control. Nearby, a woman's voice pierced the commotion. "Buddy! Oh my gosh, Buddy!" Emily, the puppy's owner, came running toward the scene, her face a mix of relief and tears. The officer holding Buddy handed him over with a smile. "He's safe, ma'am," he said, watching as the woman clutched the puppy tightly to her chest. Buddy's tiny tail wagged furiously as Emily showered him with kisses. "I can't believe this happened," she said, her voice cracking. "Thank you all so much. And is that the dog who saved him?" She pointed toward Max, who was now sitting proudly beside his handler. The moment of recognition. Max's handler nodded. "That's Max. He picked up on something being off and didn't let it go until we stopped this guy." Emily knelt down to Max's level, her tearful eyes meeting his intelligent gaze. "Thank you, Max," she said, her voice filled with gratitude. "You're a true hero." She gently reached out to pet him, and Max leaned into her touch, his tail wagging with quiet satisfaction. Buddy, now much calmer, let out a happy bark as if to thank Max in his own way. The small crowd that had gathered around the scene began to applaud, their admiration for Max and the officers evident in their faces. The thief's arrest. The thief, now sitting in the back of a police cruiser, was a picture of defeat. When questioned, he admitted that he had stolen the puppy with the intent of selling it. "I didn't think anyone would care this much over a dog," he muttered, clearly unaware of the bond between pets and their owners. One of the officers responded firmly, Dogs aren't just pets, they're family. You stole someone's family member, and now you'll face the consequences. The man's car was searched, revealing tools and items that suggested this wasn't his first attempt at stealing. His record, checked on site, showed previous arrests for petty theft. This time, however, he was facing more serious charges, including theft and animal cruelty. Max's rising fame. The story didn't end at the park. Within hours, news of Max's heroics began spreading like wildfire. Bystanders who had recorded the event posted videos online, and local news outlets picked up the story. Headlines such as "Canine Hero Saves Stolen Puppy" and "Police Dog Max Stops Puppy Thief in His Tracks" dominated social media. At the police station, Max received extra treats and affection from his fellow officers. "You really earned your dinner today, buddy," his handler said with a chuckle, scratching behind Max's ears. Max, ever the professional, accepted the praise with calm dignity. The public's reaction. Max's story resonated with people from all walks of life. Letters, emails, and even packages began pouring into the police station. Addressed to Max fans sent him everything from chew toys to personalized canine gear. Children wrote letters thanking him for being a hero, often including drawings of Max with capes and medals. One letter stood out in particular, a thank you note from Emily. In it, she expressed her deep gratitude for Max and the entire K9 unit. "Buddy means the world to me," she wrote. "I'll never forget what you all did for us." Max is a reminder that there's still so much good in the world. Emily also included a donation to the K9 program, along with a promise to advocate for better funding and resources for police dogs. Max's special recognition. A week later, the police department held a small ceremony to honor Max's efforts. The event, open to the public, drew a large crowd. Max stood proudly beside his handler as the police chief presented him with a medal. "Max represents the best of what our K9 units do," the chief said. "His bravery and instincts are a testament to the incredible bond between officers and their K9 partners." The crowd erupted into cheers and applause as Max received his medal. Emily and Buddy were in attendance, and when Max spotted them, his tail wagged furiously. Emily, holding Buddy in her arms, whispered, "You're our hero, Max." Life after the incident. For Max, life soon returned to its normal routine of training and patrols. But his newfound fame brought him a few perks: extra treats, more public appearances, and plenty of belly rubs from visitors to the station. As for Emily and Buddy, the incident deepened their bond. Emily enrolled Buddy in obedience classes, determined to keep him safe and well-trained. She also became a vocal supporter of K9 programs, often sharing Max's story with anyone who would listen. The thief, on the other hand, faced a series of legal consequences. His arrest and Max's heroics served as a cautionary tale about the risks of underestimating the capabilities of K9 units. The legacy of Max's heroics. Max's actions that day sparked a larger conversation about the importance of K9 units in law enforcement. Many people were unaware of the rigorous training these dogs undergo and the diverse roles they play, from search and rescue missions to detecting drugs and explosives. Inspired by Max's story, several local organizations began fundraising efforts to support K9 programs. Schools invited officers and their K9 partners to give demonstrations, allowing children to see firsthand the incredible skills of these dogs. The story of Max, Buddy, and Emily is more than just a tale of a stolen puppy. It's a reminder of the extraordinary bond between humans and animals. Max's sharp instincts and courage not only saved the day, but also highlighted the value of teamwork and trust in law enforcement. For his handler, Max isn't just a partner, he's family. And for Emily and Buddy, Max will always be their hero. As the public continues to celebrate Max's bravery, one thing is clear: heroes come in all shapes, sizes, and even with wagging tails. Want more stories of heroes like Max? Hit subscribe and check out the next video.